Hello, my lovely kings and queens. How are you? I'm great. Thanks for asking. Welcome back to New Creations. In this installment of The Black Woman's Pain, I'm going to be speaking about how the Black woman constantly has to deal with her father, her brother, her fiance, her husband, any Black man she loves and she cares about being slain in these streets simply because of the color of their skin, simply because they are seen as a threat in this world. I'm going to speak about my brother, Fred Hampton. My brother was an African-American activist and the revolutionary chairman, of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. He was also deputy chairman of the National Black Panther Party. So you know the Black Panther Party was all that in a bag of chips. The Black Panther Party was a revolutionary party formed in 1966 in the one and only Oakland, California by Huey Newton and Bobby Seale. These brothers were not playing, let me tell you. The original purpose of the party, Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, was to patrol the neighborhood, and that was that. That was the main purpose. Because as we know, you seem suspicious equals you're Black and you're a threat. And we just gonna do what we want to do. But I digress. Anyways, Hampton was great at getting crowds, thinking. He was great at getting crowds, Blacks liberated, Black unity. He was all about that. He was murdered ruthlessly while he laid in bed December 4th, 1969, next to his 8.5-month pregnant partner. You heard me correctly. It didn't matter that she was pregnant. It didn't matter that they had a future. None of that mattered. He was liberating Blacks, so he had to go. That's how the oppressor sees us, ladies and gentlemen, especially our Black men. They did this because they had a plant. They planted a fake bodyguard who gave the FBI floor plans and keys to the apartments, diagrams, all that stuff, because the Panthers had to hide out. They couldn't go to their regular homes because their families would be harassed. So they had to live in these little, apartments, and it would literally be 2 bedrooms, but 6 or 8 Panthers would be there. Now, I want to give y'all a quote because this tripped me out. This was a quote from the state attorney at the time, but his name's not important because he's an idiot. The immediate, violent, criminal reaction of the occupants shooting at an announced police officer emphasizes the extreme viciousness of the Black Panther Party. So does their refusal to cease fire and the police when urged to do so several times. Ooh, honey child. Partner Deborah Johnson stated one of the cops swung her robe open during the attack. What do you know? We got a broad here. And she heard another voice saying, he's barely alive. He'll barely make it. The shootout continues, and she hears another voice say, he's good and dead now. If you still have doubts that the Black man is seen as a threat and Black unity is seen as a threat, listen to this. When FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover was asked what, in his opinion, was the single greatest threat to the U.S. of America, he responded, Negro unity. Now, you got all these other threats, but they want to take down the Black man. Any Black man liberating other Black men is a problem. Any Black man staying at home, raising his children with his Black wife, that's an issue. That's what he's saying. Black educated men, that's a problem. Black educated young kings, that's a problem. That's what he's saying. R.I.P. to Fred Hampton. R.I.P. to all the Black men that have lost their lives senselessly. Who knows what they could have been? Society took that away because society loves the narrative that the Black man is dangerous. And the Black woman has to send her sons and her husband out there never knowing his fate simply because he's a Black man. It's disgusting. It's so sad. And there's people out there who will deny that this is true, but history speaks for itself. Why did MLK get assassinated? Why did Fred Hampton have to get assassinated? He wasn't talking about Molly and Percocet and, taking your wife and, having threesomes. No, he was classy. He was speaking about the liberation of blacks. He was liberating blacks. And in the eyes of the oppressors, in the eyes of the oppressor pleasers, as I call them, that's a problem. That's something that needs to be eliminated. You guys can look it up. I mean, J. Edgar Hoover had a whole program to dismantle the Black Panther Party. And we really have to ask ourselves, why was it so important? Why was it such a goal? Why was there so much strategy into taking the Black Panther Party down? Why was it so much thought put into taking Fred Hampton down? Why was it so much thought into taking Huey Newton, who died in the same city he started the Black Panther Party in? Why was there so much, setting us up and, putting drugs into the neighborhood? The same shit is happening today, but we are so blind to it. You know what I'm saying? They're not going after the rappers talking about Molly and Percocet and this and that. They're talking about, they go after the ones and call the ones corny who are talking about, hey, go back to school. Hey, learn a trade. Hey, stay with your black women. Those are the ones they want to take out. And I personally feel like Fred Hampton, he's very similar when it comes to that, because he was enlightening blacks. The oppressor knows black unity. It's a problem for the agenda that they have. That's why they want to take them out. And the black woman constantly has to send her son out, send her husband out, send her uncle, her father out into this world, knowing this world does not care about them. This world sees them as thugs and drug dealers. And that's the only thing, the only narrative, the only stigma they want to associate the black man with. And that's why it's part of the black woman's pain, because this world is not for them. This world wants to set up the image of the black man and destroy this type of black man, the true black man. Fred Hampton was a true, strong, intelligent black man. 21 years old, killed in his house, in his bed, like a daggone animal. Like an animal. They want to justify murder. You cannot justify it. He's laying in his bed with his pregnant partner. That just trips me out. It's like, she's 8.5 months pregnant. He's laying there, no threat. They take him out. MLK, talking about peace, liberation of blacks, unity with all people. They take him out. So it's like, I always laugh when it's like, oh, if you would just pull up your pants. It's so much bigger than pulling up your pants, guys. Because when you see men like this, who wore slacks, for crying out loud, talking about peace, they were still murdered. So now what's your excuse? You know what I'm saying? It's like, we really have to stop making excuses. I don't care if you look like Edward Scissorhands. You know what I'm saying? Like, being a black man in America, they find a reason to come at you. And that's why, black women, I urge you to hold your black men down, love them, encourage them, check in on them, because these streets are vicious to our black men. And history repeats itself. That's why I always go back, because I know this story will remind you of stories happening today. It's just crazy. It's really, really saddening. And we really, as blacks, we really have to ask ourselves those hard questions. We really do. We have to research Black Panther Party. We have to research freedom riders, so we can be liberated. And knowledge is power, guys. We have to know our history. We have to know where it began. So when it mirrors in present day, we're like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't just be like, oh, well, this is new. Or some people have the nerve to say, oh, well, that's a thing of the past. No. Look at Trayvon Martin. He wasn't as influential as Fred Hampton, but this young boy, walking with Skittles in Arizona, taken down because of the color of his skin. The black man is always associated with suspicious, strange, thug, violent, aggressive, but it's always to justify their poor behavior. They killed Fred Hampton. You heard the quote I gave you from the state attorney at the time. They have to justify their bad behavior towards black men. So they'll say, oh, he looks suspicious. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. Not even knowing or being open to hearing what this man is doing. And black women have always had to bear that pain. That is, and oh my gosh, it's a pain I don't even want to know. It is just horrid. You see the sadness in Coretta Scott King's eyes. I mean, this is her husband, the father of her children. A man speaking about peace, and you take him out. I mean, it's just, it's so just, oh my gosh. It's so saddening. Leaving his kids behind, and it's like, that's a pain blacks know about. That's a pain. Specifically the black woman, because boys are blessings, but knowing they're in this world that wants to take them down, take them out. I mean, the story of Emmett Till, his mother, she had to go down and, claim that was her son. And, she was treated horribly. Oh, how do you know that's really your son? Comment down below if y'all want a video on that. But it's just really saddening. It's sickening. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Bye.